all weirdos.
Weird science is the revolution. Weird science is the revolution.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Weird Science Comics YouTube channel, where I'm going to be reviewing Batman number 135, Legacy number 900. The issue is written by Chip Zdarsky, with art by Mike Hawthorne, Jorge Jimenez, Mikel Janin, Adriana Di Benedetto, colors by Tomeu Morey and Romulo Fajardo Jr., letters by Clayton Coles. I have been a bit more positive of this whole fail-safe sent Batman to a Gotham without a Batman story than most people I've seen and heard, but saying that it has felt like the story was always missing a little something. Some of the stuff has been cool, but by the end, it all ended up feeling like surface-level window dressing to get Batman to travel through the multiverse and run into various versions of himself and the Joker. However, that stuff is pretty damn cool. So let's get into this after I ask you, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, like the video, enable the notifications, and let me know what you thought of Batman number 135 in the comments below. Now, the issue opens with Bruce continuing on after losing his hand at the end of the last issue as he goes off to cauterize the wound and decides to gimme shock treatment. All hell is hitting Gotham. Man-bats are covering the city with Crane Brain, and the resulting madness is fueling up Halliday's attempt to finally become the Joker. The problem is that when Halliday reaches back to the moment of Joker's creation, he doesn't get the result he wanted. But the Joker somehow saw him through space and time. So, what is a Joker who isn't quite a Joker to do? Well, he tries again, and this time realizes that his lot in life isn't to become the Joker, but actually create them across the multiverse. After fighting Batman for a bit, Halliday escapes into the multiverse to create some Joker craziness, and eventually Batman does give chase. But before that, Chip Zdarsky can't seem to help himself these days and throws in a couple of his money bad lines. And I saw somebody comment that only a person who didn't have to worry about money all their lives would ever push that so much. And I kind of do agree with that. Plus, throwing it into a book with Batman and Bruce Wayne always feels silly and forced. Beside that, though, we get a really good moment with Bruce and Alfred, and an out-of-nowhere one with Selina that felt like it was just there to make Batman work a little harder to take down Halliday. Up to this point, I was disappointed with this issue, and having heard people talk about what was coming up next, they kind of spoiled it for me. I thought to myself, there is no way any fan service trip through the multiverse will change my mind because I'm way too smart for that, right? Nope, I was wrong. Batman being pulled through the multiverse and seeing and interacting with so many Batmen was just too cool not to like. While I didn't get Atomic Batman, most fans will at least get a glimpse of their favorites from the Batman the Animated Series, Batman 89 movie, Batman 66 TV series, Batman Beyond, and more. And the more part is key because despite being a miserable prick, trademark, I was having a ton of fun. So much fun that I didn't even get upset with something that usually triggers me, the Bat Shark repellent. That usually sends me into a tizzy, and it didn't here. Because it all makes sense in the craziest of ways, seeing Halliday create Jokers in worlds that no longer or never did have them, and power up the ones that did, while Batman gives himself a hand, literally in the Dark Knight Returns universe, to finally take Halliday down. In the end, we get a great moment with Tim Drake Robin, though I wish he was more involved in this entire issue, and then we get an ending that actually could set up a ton of stories going forward, and I kind of want those stories right now. And despite not loving the first half of this issue, the second half did win me over, and I ended up doing something that I haven't done while reading a Batman book in quite some time. I actually smiled, and I even laughed while it was going on, and that, for Batman books for me, it hasn't happened in a long time. All of the artists kicked total ass. And because of the wow factor of the multiversal stuff, I had fun just paging through again just to look at the art. The issue wasn't perfect, though. I told you some of the things at the first half of it kind of threw me off, but it was fun, and that goes a long way with me. And so I am giving the issue a 8.5 out of 10. And if you want to hear a more in-depth conversation about this book and others that came out this week and then every week, make sure to check out our podcast, the Weird Science DC Comics Podcast, which comes out every Sunday night. You can even get early access to it and get a ton of other comic book shows like our Hellboy Reading Club, Walking Dead Reading Club, our New 52 Review Show, the Injustice Gods Among Us Reading Club. There really are a ton of shows and more at our Patreon, patreon.com/Weird Science. There'll be links in the show notes for all of those, but I hope that everybody liked this issue as much as I did. I'm sure that's not going to be the case, and I'll probably get yelled at by some, but hey, that's how it goes. But really, no matter what you thought of it, let me know in the comments below, and then we can discuss it there. But thanks, everybody. Thanks for watching the video, listening, all of that stuff, and I'll talk to you all later.
You are all weirdos.
Weird science is the revolution. Weird science is the revolution.